The night exploded with a metallic shriek, a sound like steel claws raking concrete, shattering the suburban quiet. Nathan Wells froze on his porch, his new house keys biting into his palm. The noise wasn't human, it was mechanical, a grinding pulse from the depths of the cul-de-sac, followed by a low hum that buzzed through his boots. A red laser flickered across his driveway, tracing a razor-straight line before vanishing. His wife, Claire, stood behind the screen door, her silhouette rigid. "What was that?" she hissed. Nathan didn't answer. He didn't know. But as he locked the door, his heart pounding, he sensed their new home wasn't just a sanctuary. It was a trap. Nathan and Claire Wells had earned this moment through decades of relentless work. He was a CIVYL engineer, a man who saw life in blueprints and stress calculations. She was a tax auditor, her world defined by numbers that never lied. After years of urban chaos, they'd chosen this house for its promise of control. A sleek, modern two-story at the end of Serenity Lane, in a neighborhood called Willow Crest, where every lawn was flawless, every mailbox aligned, every driveway a study in symmetry. The place was a shrine to order. Equal lots, mirrored homes, no stray leaves or VY Cybele bins. It matched Nathan's hunger for structure and Claire's loathing for chaos. They'd signed the deed with the quiet triumph of people who'd finally found peace. The first week was perfect. Claire unpacked with obsessive precision, labeling jars and folding linens into perfect squares. Nathan patrolled the property each morning, coffee in hand, noting fixes a loose fence post, a slightly uneven paver. Neighbors kept their distance, offering only curt nods. Mrs. Harrow, across the cul-de-sac, waved once. That was enough. Nathan and Claire wanted solitude, their lives a sealed system. For 6 days, they had it. On the 7th day, the first fracture appeared. Nathan found in the mailbox a plain envelope, no stamp, just one word typed in bold capitals. Notice. Inside, a heavy sheet of paper, folded with care, bore a single typed line. Keep within the boundaries. Final warning. No signature, no clue. Nathan turned it over, expecting anything. It was blank. Claire read it at the kitchen counter, her fingers tight on the edges. "What boundaries?" she said, her voice sharp. They hadn't parked on the street, hadn't crossed any lines. Nathan tucked the letter into a drawer with the manuals, muttering, "Some busybody with too much time." They tried to dismiss it. They couldn't. The next morning, Nathan noticed the man next door. He'd been in VY Cybele before, just a shadow behind blinds. Now he was there, a tall figure with a crew cut and a soldier's posture, wearing long sleeves and dark pants despite the heat. He pushed a manual lawn roller across his grass in precise, parallel rows, its low metallic hum cutting through the air. The sound started the instant Claire opened the upstairs blinds. He never looked up, never waved, just rolled and adjusted, a machine in human form. Claire watched, her coffee untouched. "That's not right," she said. Nathan shrugged. "He's just obsessive." But when Claire varied her routine, opening the blinds earlier, then later the roller always followed, perfectly timed. Then came the mark. Nathan found it while checking the sprinklers, a white chalk line, ruler straight, running along their driveway's edge, across the mailbox post, and onto the sidewalk. It wasn't random, it was deliberate, applied with a guide, stopping at the property line. Nathan stared, his engineer's mind noting its precision. It wasn't vandalism. It was a message. Claire saw it and went quiet, her eyes darting to the neighbor's house. That night, as Nathan unloaded tools, the man whose name they'd learned was Marcus Holt from Stray Mail stood at their lawn's edge, hands clasped, watching. Not glaring, just standing, his feet an inch from the line, like a guard testing a border. Nathan's chest tightened, but he didn't confront him. Claire watched from the door. "Did he say anything?" "No," Nathan said, locking up. "He's creepy." "Yeah, me too." The disturbances grew. One morning, their mailbox was open, its contents soaked not by rain, but as if dunked in water. The trash bins, always curbside, were found angled across Marcus's driveway. Claire retrieved them, hands trembling. "We didn't move them," she said. "I know," Nathan replied. The chalk line stayed, resisting water and scrubbing. It wasn't chalk, it was permanent, fused to the concrete. Sleep became fleeting, their house no longer a refuge but a stage. 2 days later, Nathan parked their sedan slightly off-center to avoid lawn clippings. It was minor, unintentional. That night, nothing happened. The next morning, Nathan stepped outside and froze. The sedan was shredded, not keyed, but dissected. The windshield had a single diagonal slash through the laminate. The mirrors were gone, removed with care. The hood bore 3 deep, curved gashes carved with precision. On the passenger seat, through the broken window, was a steel bar, etched, "Boundary VY OLAT." "Corrected." Claire gasped, then went silent. Nathan didn't speak. His rage wasn't loud, it was cold, focused. This was no prank. It was ritual. Nathan called the police, careful not to touch the car. The dispatcher asked about blood. When he said no, she promised an officer soon. Claire stood on the porch, arms crossed, her face blank. Officer Tate arrived, tired and limping, asking routine questions. "Last time seen. Noises, cameras?" Nathan mentioned the letter, the chalk, Marcus's routines. Tate nodded, barely writing. He studied the steel bar, muttering no prints. He sighed. "It's targeted, but without footage we're stuck. File for insurance. Call if you get EVY Denke." He photographed the car, gave Nathan a case number, and left, ignoring Marcus's house. Insurance was a dead end. After transfers and holds, a rep cited an unverified incident clause, hinting at denial. Nathan hung up. The car was towed, its ruined frame a wound. That afternoon, Claire spotted metal stakes along the driveway, flush with the ground, unmarked but etched, 8B, 8B Zone 1, 8C. Nathan pried one loose. "Grid markers," he said. "They're mapping us." That night, he checked county records, finding a vague 1990s ordinance on aesthetic uniformity, meaningless legally but ripe for abuse. A letter arrived the next day from the Willow Crest Alignment Council, a heavy envelope with a P.O. box citing vehicle misalignment and demanding a response. Claire read it, her voice flat. "It's fake," Nathan said. "Intimidation, not law." They called a lawyer, Ellen Kane, a sharp property attorney Nathan knew. She told them to document everything: photos, timestamps, measurements, and avoid confrontation. Nathan hid cameras behind windows, motion triggered with cloud backups. At 11:47 p.m., one caught Marcus kneeling by the driveway, embedding a reflective disc near 8B. He worked briefly, then vanished. Claire stopped gardening, avoided windows, flinched at sounds. Nathan patrolled the property, blueprints in hand, finding no physical shifts but feeling the ground erode beneath them. Their home was a coordinate in Marcus's system. A second letter came, labeled the VY Asian, Phase 2, with a map shading their lot gray. Marcus's red. It used terms like VY, Sewell Discord, and spatial obstruction, signed MH enforcement. Claire locked the garage and went silent. Ellen called, her tone sharp. "This is psychological warfare. He's building a fake framework to scare you. I'm filing a restraining order." She contacted a zoning expert, Tom Bryce, who arrived days later. He examined the stakes and letters. "Custom work," he said, holding a disc. "He's not buying this. He's making it." The documents mimicked municipal formats, warped from urban design theory. "He thinks he's fixing chaos," Bryce said. Claire, quiet, whispered, "He's erasing us." Nathan shook his head. "Redrawing." Bryce asked about signal issues. Nathan noted his phone dropping bars near the door. "Low-grade jammer," Bryce said. "Illegal, subtle, disrupts cameras and uploads. He's isolating you." The next morning, Nathan found a crescent cut in the backyard lawn, a perfect arc with a humming disc at its center. Ellen sent a county inspector, who confirmed an unauthorized transmitter and logged a complaint, warning of delays. Then came the spikes. Backing out, Nathan heard a crunch. All 4 tires blew, the sedan slumping. Matte black metal strips, in VY Cybele until triggered, were embedded in the driveway. Claire looked, then walked inside. Nathan photographed, called Ellen, then Tate. Professional, Tate said. No noise, no trace. The spike stayed. 3 days though companies refused. County disclaimed. Nathan paid, due law $4,500 to remove and repave. Insurance denied. An envelope appeared, weighted by a brass washer, containing aerial photos of their home bedroom, backyard, levying room with red ink notes. Angle compliant. Light spill excessive. A card read, Phase 3 audit. Claire stayed in the guest room. Lights off. Bryce returned, detecting a faint jammer signal. He's rewriting your existence, he said. Nathan stopped sleeping, seeing Marcus's plan. Not EVY tie-in, but compression into his grid. Claire's movements grew mechanical locking doors, wiping clean surfaces. Then, 3 days of silence, a vacuum worse than Spike's. On the 4th, a crate appeared by the gate, holding 28 stakes etched W, with a map encircling their house and markers. Nathan hid it. He began dismantling their systems cameras, lights, sensors breaking Marcus's patterns. He painted the mailbox orange, scattered uneven gravel, hung crooked chimes. That night, he pried apart the back fence, disrupting the sight line, and propped a cracked mirror facing Marcus's house. A red laser swept their windows, measuring. Claire retreated. The next night, the mirror faced inward. Marcus had closed the loop. Claire begged to leave for a day. They drove to a lake, walked on uneven stones, silent. Returning, they found a steel spike in concrete at their door, tagged, order secured. Nathan covered it. They painted front windows black, unplugged everything router, outlets, lights. The house became undefined, untouchable. Rain erased the chalk, buried discs. Nathan boxed cameras, tossed tools. Claire cooked, raked, hummed faintly. Marcus's house stayed dark, his lawn perfect but lifeless. No more stakes or letters. Neighbors watched, silent. A city crew arrived, marking Marcus's lot. A tech disabled something in his yard. Ellen called. A zoning audit had flagged his illegal DVYCS. His system was unraveling, quietly, officially. The discs vanished, the concrete smoothed. Claire and VY Ted their daughter for a weekend. They laughed, ate, sat on the patio under stars. Marcus's yard was flawless but distant. Nathan exhaled, not because the fight was over, but because they'd endured. They hadn't won or lost, they'd refused to be redrawn. And that was enough. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.